Let's take a look at our race analysis. We'll be going 208 laps. That totals 312 miles, 500 kilometers for more than $1 million. And Ari, if everything goes green, they should go between 52 and 58 before they have to stop for fuel.
That's right. And as you can see out there, that sun is blazingly hot. That's going to play a big major factor here today as far as the tires is concerned and the handling of the car. With the track heating up as it is, the crews are going to have to play a lot of tire pressure when setting up their cars at every pit stop. And my keys to the race here today are handling, tires, and Greg Ray's day. Obviously, Greg Ray can have a great day today, could clinch the championship, or not. So we'll see what happens there. But the handling and tires are critical today to get to victory lane.
There is one more race to go in the season, but Greg Ray could clinch the championship here this afternoon. We have a lot of onboard cameras for you that will complement our coverage of this race today. Here is the onboard camera that would be covered by Buddy Lazier in the Delta Faucet Coors Light Dallara. He starts back in the 10th position.
This is Scott Sharp here from the rear view of his cam. Scott's certainly going to be a contender today, but will those tires work for him?
And right beside him, Scott Goodyear, who'll start in the 5th position in the Pennzoil Panther G4. Scott had the points lead earlier this year, but now finds himself battling for the championship from 2nd.
Kenny Bragg driving a G-Force today for the first time in a couple of years. 1997 he drove for Gallus in a G-Force, and today again.
And on the front row, Mark Dismore, the MCI WorldCom Dallara. He has one of our onboard cameras. And also on the pole sitter, Sam Schmidt in the Sprint PCS G-Force. There's late breaking news from the pit area. Here's Jack Arute.
Bob, there's been a big change for Davey Hamilton and the Spinal Conquest team for Rick Gallus. Their car was so evil, they've decided to scrap it. They've gone to the backup car. He has to start last from his 23rd qualifying position. They say they're going to have to work on the setup all through the race. Vince?
Tires. Ari mentioned tires as a possible key today, particularly the Goodyears. Goodyear brought a tire here for this race significantly different than what they tested in August. Goodyear says it's a better tire, but it's taken teams longer to get up to speed with the tire through the setups. Whether they hold up today will be a key. We'll keep an eye on it. Bob?
The field moves through turn number 4. Pace car has cleared the track. Pace quickens. Green flag is green flag. 500 is underway from Las Vegas with Schmidt grabbing the lead.
He's losing it right now, Bob.
At the line, we'll look at Mark Dismore going inside. Battling wheel to wheel. Sam in the second corner down the backstretch. Dismore has the lead as we're on board with Sam.
We got a spin in turn 2. There's a yellow coming out right now. That's Donnie Beechler, who spun out in turn 2 but didn't hit anything. So this won't be a long yellow.
Caution is coming out as the crosses the line.
More problems.
Crash up in the 4th corner. That's Stefan Gregoire. He's headed in the right direction. We have another car up on top of the racetrack. That looks like Scott Harrington is the other car that involved. There's the Certainty car up against the wall in turn number 4.
Can't see if he actually hit the wall, Bob, but at this point, yeah, looks like he did. There's a black mark on our screen right there. That's usually bad news.
Donnie Beechler was the original spinner off of corner number 2. There you can see down the backstretch. The safety crew has arrived at his car. I don't think he hit anything either, so he may be able to get back into competition. There is Harrington, and you can see the damage there on the left rear. Let's go back and take a look at the replays. First of all, here is the Beechler incident up in turn 2.
Here's Donnie spinning down low, not collecting anybody.
Looks like he just got down on the grass, maybe a little bit low with a lot of traffic in the 2nd corner. Did a loop. Now, as the field moved around toward the 4th corner, as the caution flag was out, we had more trouble.
And again, Scott Harrington down here really low on the racetrack, trying to drop the wheel, just barely missing Stefan Gregoire. Stefan missing him.
There was the contact with the wall that Harrington had, so there is damage, and the left front is flat. Harrington is out of the race car. Jack has more on Stefan Gregoire.
Well, Stefan confirmed that he was bumped from behind. He's been talking with Richie and Dick Simon on the Mexpro team. What they're trying to get resolved is for Stefan to go back to his original starting spot. That's the conversation taking place on pit road right now between Richie Simon and an IRL official.
It's quite a funny situation where the yellow had to have been out, but when they entered turn 3, Scott Harrington for some reason lost it. And I believe he might have dropped the wheel below the white line, and that's what prevented 12-degree banking, and it gets flat over there. This area right here. If you drop the wheel on that, it's just far out.
Cars here involved in incidents on the very first lap of the Las Vegas 500. That Boys Indy Racing League action back in just a moment. Week from today at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN, we'll have live coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series in the Napa Auto Care 500 from Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. The championship in that series also continues to be a good one, so join us next Sunday at 1 o'clock on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Still under caution here at Las Vegas because of an incident. A couple of incidents actually involving Donnie Beechler, Scott Harrington, and Stephen Gregoire. Now, Greg Ray is capable of clinching the championship here today, but he hasn't been in the best of health, right, Jack?
No question about it, Bob. In fact, yesterday he suffered from a head cold. Well, it's gotten worse. Before the start of the race, I had a chance to chat with him. He talked about the fact that now he's suffering from a gastrointestinal problem as well. One thing about telemetry, it can tell you the performance of the car, but it cannot tell you the health of the driver. Let's check in with Vince Welch.
Scott Harrington is here. You see, still with his helmet on after the incident. Scott, what happened?
Well, I'm not really sure. I got a yellow over the radio, and everybody got jumped on the binders going to 3, and I had to put a good head of steam going. I had to get on the brakes. And, you know, when you're in the middle of a turn in these cars, you got to get out of the throttle. You're done. There's not a banking gear to hold you down. So it's just a lazy spin, and I thought I was going to keep it off the wall, but unfortunately, it just barely burst the wall. So we're going to try and fix it and get back out.
How much damage? You talk about the A-arm. How much damage is done?
Not much. I mean, if we can, it's time consuming, but as far as damage goes, it's very minimal. There's no bodywork damage. Everything's fine. It just kinked one of the A-arms.
This team has done a great job this season. One car, one motor, and they still seem to be contenders race in, race out, but a tough start today for Scott Harrington.
Scott had never raced here at Las Vegas before, and you're right, it's one of the more underfunded teams in the league. Only one car, one engine, but they've really done a remarkable job with that limited amount of equipment in the last few weeks.
And looking at the speed they were going into turn 3, it looked like the yellow was called just a little bit late, so that's when you got that reaction of everybody getting out of the throttle, and Scott just got caught out by that, had to get out of the throttle, brake a little bit, it upset the car, and around he went.
So we're getting set for a restart, but meanwhile, Stephen Gregoire has come in for a late pit stop.
Well, he's changing his tires because he's probably flat spotted the ones that he spun out on earlier. And it's a little bit of a late stop for him to realize, shall I do this now or during my first pit stop? But he might as well do it now because he's pretty much back there anyway.
He will join the field at the rear of the pack. Mark Dismore is the leader of the race with Schmidt right behind him, followed by Breck, Greg Ray, and Scott Goodyear. Those are your top 5, and 5 laps have been completed. They're about to complete lap number 6, and when they do, they will get the flag and be back to competition. And the green is out, and a pass already here as they come down as Kenny Breck goes to the inside and Sam Schmidt trying for second spot, and also a side-by-side battle back there for 4th position between Breck and Goodyear.
Scott Goodyear is trying to go around the outside here with Greg Ray. These two guys are in the points battle as well. So Scott's going to try and keep as close as he can all day to Greg Ray because he knows when he finishes close to him, he still has a chance to wrap up that championship in Texas. Sam Schmidt did not lose that position to Kenny Bragg, so look back, had a little bit of a run on him. Sam did go.
Another incident off of corner number 4 is going to bring out another caution. Looks like that Johnny Unser is the one who got sideways down there. And again, I don't think he hit anything.
Because think about all these incidents so far, nobody's hit anything. At least Scott Harrington did, but very, very gently. So that's at least one good thing about these incidents so far.
Johnny Unser competing for the 3rd time here in Las Vegas. Back in '96, he finished in 22nd position. In '97, he finished 19th.
Let me tell you what these guys are feeling right now. The track is very hot. They haven't had really any laps to get up to speed, so the pressures are not up on these cars. These cars right now, they don't feel that great. They still have a lot of fuel in them. So it's very touchy out there. And it seems to me that with these spin-outs, guys are going to experience loose handling racetrack.
So replay and see if we can what happened here at Two-Crest Racing. Looks like he was by himself.
Yeah, he was by himself. It was pretty high coming off the board. There's quite a big patch there. They had a hole in the track last year. They had to fill it up. And when they filled it up, it became quite a little bit of a bump. I think he went up high enough to hit that bump, and that could have spun him around because the car bottoms out when you do right there. A little bit late on that one.
Does a complete 360. Everybody behind him takes evasive action, and it's only a one-car incident, and Unser is okay. Vince?
Well, Johnny Unser just complained that the car was just very loose in the corner, and that's something these teams are going to deal with today. It's a push going in, but when you get to the center of the turn, all of a sudden the car becomes loose. It's exactly what happened with Johnny Unser. We're going to take another lap around to make sure the tires are okay. If not, they'll bring him in for a stop.
Flag comes out, and we're back to racing on lap number 10. The one lap caution side by side.
Rockman was trying to give himself a quiet zone. Having a birthday today. Right now. Eddie Cheever has been moving up steadily and started to move right now.
Not surprised that Eddie had an engine problem on the second lap in qualifying. He got one good lap in. That resulted in him starting back in the 18th position. Not uncommon. He is moving up through the field early on that high line.
Now he's ready to pass Greg Ray. Boy, he's had a run so far.
So Cheever moves from 18th up to 4th position, passing Greg Ray.
He always does that. He has that. He always says he can do it this time. Sometimes he's done so far. Right now here with Greg for Sam Smith.
Liz Morris held the lead since the drop of the green flag. His 4th race of 18. Pikes Peak, most recent race that he led, but Sam Schmidt appears to be closing in, narrowing the gap to a couple of car lengths, getting a good run on Mark as they move down the front stretch, and Sam is excited to let it go away from Dismore and Rizzo.
A little behind you. There's not too many behind you. Go ahead.
He did it very easy. You can see he had a good run on coming off the turn before. Back a little bit, and that was it. Now this could be a story of the day for tires. Proof that the Firestone tires are working very, very good compared to the Goodyears. Nice car.
Going on your high side. On your high side.
Really nice side. Bobby Unser right there.
Clear.
Well, pretty impressive. By Eddie Cheever.
Popular and snack for Eddie Cheever. They say that they don't need to be fast today. They just need a consistent race car. The track changes so aggressively. Stay consistent throughout the day. They want to go to the front. And we're seeing that early from Eddie Cheever. They're ecstatic with the way his car is handling.
Nice cross.
I say the guy who appears to be struggling at the moment is Scott Goodyear, who's lost several positions there in that yellow car.
That's right. Scott got held up a little bit by Johnny Unser in that car, and then lost position for nice cross. But Scott Goodyear is on Goodyear tires. So is Mark Dismore. He's on Goodyear tires. So let's keep an eye on these guys and see how good they are.
Goodyear has dropped back to the 8th position. Just ahead of him is Robbie Unser.
Robbie Unser now is trying to put a little on Greg Ray. Greg Ray seems to be running conservative today. He's thinking championship in life. That's going to the reason. Robbie Unser is going to take conservative right here.
Just 2 points are available this afternoon in the race. There are points awarded for qualifying, and now we see Scott Goodyear getting a good run on Greg Ray in the battle for the position. And they're wheel to wheel as they cross the line.
Greg Ray sort of bobbled a little bit coming out of there before. You saw a slight wiggle, but I also saw a slight little wiggle in Scott Goodyear's steering movement. And Greg right now is sliding a loose race car. That's his fault right there.
Goodyear takes the 2nd position, drops back to 8th. Billy Pope and Scott Shaw back in the position. That is the yellow colored car.
The car in between Ray and Pope is Johnny Unser, lap behind. Billy Pope is also on Goodyear tires, as is Kenny Bragg. Those 2 guys are running pretty good right now.
caution on the racetrack. And this time it's
Willie T. Ribs.
a little bit more than just a spin as we have hard wall contact by Willie T. Ribs here in the tri-oval area just off of turn number 4.
Well, I guess Willie now felt the excitement of getting back in a race car, qualifying yesterday. Now he's feeling the dark side of racing, crashing it.
Last time he competed in an IndyCar race was at the Indianapolis 500 in 1993. Got his ride with McCormick Motorsports, and we'll tell you more about when we return to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where Sam Schmidt currently leads Dismore, Cheever, Breck, and Carlson. Welcome back to Las Vegas. Want to remind you about the Nike World Champions Tour. This tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN. Brazil versus the U.S. Women's National Team at Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado. Check it out on ESPN at 5 o'clock tonight. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. We're still under caution here at Las Vegas, still cleaning up the incident involving Willie T. Ribs.
Sam Schmidt, still your leader, and Sam is leading his 6th race of the year. The last race in Colorado Springs, Sam had the pole position, identical lap time to Greg Ray, but Greg Ray got the pole because he was the first driver on the track to actually set that time. This time around, though, Sam had the pole on his own, clearly faster than everybody else. Gave up the lead to Mark Dismore at the start, but now he's back in the lead again. And we haven't heard back from the pits yet of how he is, how he feels about his car, if he's happy with it. But so far, it looks like the car is handling great for him.
Schmidt qualified at 209.465 miles an hour. This is the 6th straight race that Sam has led in Pep Boys Indy League competition.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, problem in Walt Disney World. In the beginning of the race, Sam had a crash. Phoenix had some bad, had a bad call on the pits, lost a lap in the pits, but then really has started to come forward. At Indianapolis, teaming up with myself, Sam was running really good at Indianapolis, and just gotten stronger and stronger. The team is really rallied behind him the last couple of races, and very, very happy with him right now.
Running back in 17th position is Stefan Gregoire. He was involved in one of the early incidents, in fact, the one that we had on lap number 1 with Scott Harrington, but he appears to be in pretty good shape as far as the car is concerned, so we'll watch for him to move up through the field as the afternoon progresses. Last Tuesday, the harbor town of Dana Point, California, that is where the Dick Simon racing shops are. Well, they took the IndyCar out on the streets of Dana Point, California. And the whole thing was celebrating Dick Simon's 66th birthday. Treating his driver, Stefan Gregoire, at a turn of the wheel of his 38-foot speedboat. Simon, of course, was a veteran of 17 Indianapolis 500s, last racing in 1988. His best finish was 6th in 1987. Stefan and his new wife, Virginie, were married last month in France after dating for about 10 years. And he is back in the cockpit here this afternoon. Letty Cheever has been the driver who has moved from his original starting position up the most so far in the first 24 laps of this race. Started 18th, currently running in 3rd. Vince?
Well, Letty Cheever's having some radio problems, although the car's working great. Cheever cannot hear the team, but the team, or excuse me, Cheever can hear the team, but the team cannot hear him. So Eddie's using hand signals as he comes by on the front stretch. I asked what was the last communication you had with him, and they said Eddie was going, yeehaw!
Now to Jack Arute.
Well, Bob, you look at Mark Dismore. He goes to the front, then he backs off a little bit. He goes back to the front, then he backs off a little bit. They call it down here in the Kelly team the plan. What is the plan? Well, they've decided that rather than actually race other drivers, they're going to race the racetrack all day. They want to play it conservatively. They want to be there at the end. They keep talking back and forth on the radio. Just stay with the plan, stay with the plan. So the lap times stay the same. Sometimes the position is exchanged.
That's not a bad strategy to have today, especially in the heat. You know, trying to save the tires, make the tires work for you, and that's what they're doing right now.
Under a lengthy caution here because of debris scattered all over the racetrack by a hard hit by Willie T. Ribs off of turn number 4. He's okay. We'll be right back. Half a lap away from the green flag here in Las Vegas, the 2000 ESPY Awards, scheduled for Monday, February 14th. It will be held right here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. You can get ticket information by calling the number you see on your screen there. The ESPY Awards, Monday, February 14th. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Well, 26 laps are about to be completed, and the green flag is coming out for resumption on this race. It's Schmidt, Dismore, Breck, and Carlson, the top 5 as the revs come up. The speeds go up, and here we go once again.
Mark Dismore definitely had a jump on Sam there on the start. He was able to hold him off, so Carlson get his momentum back up again. Here he comes on the inside, and moves a little bit over to the left.
Dismore gets to the inside, but Schmidt hangs on the high line. They come through corner number 4, side by side, down to the line. Dismore gets the lead, and he's back in front.
Eddie Cheever closed in on both those guys, and we're looking at Eddie Cheever coming all the way back from 18. Here's Sam.
Outside.
Schmidt doesn't go outside, and he goes high off the corner and tries to retake the lead again. They go wheel to wheel through the corner. Dismore has the advantage down on the inside line. Good wheel-to-wheel racing, and Dismore hangs on to the lead.
I think he's going to come around the outside again, or stay right there.
Here's some Delphi telemetry. Look at the speed and the RPMs and the throttle position once you get off that corner.
Here comes Cheever.
Cheever making a good run on Schmidt.
Looks like Cheevers is coming inside, backed off.
Cheever has been incredible in the first 29 laps.
Cheevers is going to let him go. He's coming up.
Now here comes Breck passing Schmidt for third.
See what happened there? Sam Schmidt just lost his momentum a little bit. Boom. Kenny Breck is right there. That's what they said in the opening of the show. The field was so tight, stuff happens all the time. And great example right here. Not good get done by Sam Schmidt there, too.
First 6 cars running right together on the racetrack, and now Cheever will bid for the lead. Eddie Cheever down low on Mark Dismore. Cheever in the Indy-powered car, blew the engine on the second lap of qualifying, and now from 18 starting position takes the lead, and Kenny Breck will move alongside, or try to move alongside Mark Dismore in the battle for second.
That's what we have here. We have 3 of the top 4 cars are all running on Goodyear tires. Seems everybody's tires were pretty good today.
And Jackaroo Sam Schmidt has dropped back to 6th while we have some terrific battling up front.
Hey, Bob, the problem is in tight traffic, Sam Schmidt cannot run as well when he's behind cars, specifically in turns 3 and 4. He's been working the weight jacker, Ari, but he hasn't found it to his liking yet. Can't get the car to stick in 3 and 4.
Understand problem or loose problem he's complaining of, because that's kind of hard to tell from here. And as you can see right down there, he was working the weight jacker, moving the weight from this side to that side there, or vice versa. You don't know yet.
Ari, at first they thought the car was fairly neutral, but now all of a sudden it's gone just a little bit loose. As we said at the top of the show, that's the one way you don't want a car.
Exactly. You want it to go a little bit, push a little bit, but you don't want it loose around here, because you'll be standing up in the seat all day long. You're right on the edge through this turn 3 and 4. You're all
Your high side, on your high side.
so long. Right here, it's loaded so long that it's very tricky.
Battle for that position, and Schmidt retakes the spot and moves Scott Goodyear back to the 6th position. And we haven't talked about very much. Bobby Here's Eddie Cheever, who now begins to lengthen his lead a little bit on Kenny Breck. Just behind him is Robbie Unser, giving that car a good run. There we go.
Here's Robbie getting a good run off the turn. Now he's going to go up to the track and Mark Dismore, and he's going to get by.
More on Unser from Jackaroo.
Now, Robbie Unser has some special motivation. He went down to the local sports book and proved it. He noticed that there were odds for today's race. You know, David didn't bet on anything. Robbie Unser was 40-1. Improved their resources and put some quid down on Robbie Unser. They showed him the betting card was sports. They told him, hey, you want to make us happy? Go home and run. David goes for 1 bet.
Las Vegas for Bobby. He started 27th and only 16th in 1998.
Amazing story to me is that most of the front runners, Kenny Cheever, Kenny Bragg, Mark Dismore, are all on the Goodyear tires. Greg Ray, who's on the highest number, is actually struggling a little bit today because he's dropped back to 10th position with that loose car. Again, coming to the pits. He's ready for a yellow right now, so they have an early pit stop.
There's the progression. Kenny Cheever started 18th by lap 7. He had passed 10 cars. Now maintains about a 1-second advantage on Kenny Bragg. Vince?
Team Cheever had a strategy. Find a speed that was comfortable and stick with it. Let the rest of the field come back to him. It's not that Cheever's running so much faster than everyone else. He's just got a steady, consistent car. Also, Owen Snyder told me when the car is working better in the heat than they expected, and the Goodyear tires are terrific.
And his lead is not all that good as Kenny Bragg now begins to close in on defending Pep Boys Indy Racing champion and the winner of the Indianapolis 500 this year. He's second. Bobby Unser now third. Schmidt is fourth, and Mark Dismore, who led the early going in this race, is in fifth position. 39 laps completed. We'll be right back.
Even now.
Can you hear me all right?
Bobby Unser just took second spot from Kenny Bragg. Sam Smith, although he's a little loose, is still right there. They're all standing up in this like this.
I got 12 laps to go. I don't need that.
Hey, Ari.
Yeah.
Actually, what happened is they thought it was loose, but believe it or not, once he got away from the cars, it's a bad push.
Okay.
All right? You just have to stick. What they did is, I think they saw part of it was weight car. The car was almost set in the bad air.
Okay. I'll fix that one. Greg Ray.
Ray is just loose. You know what's funny there, Ari? They keep waiting for the tires to go away. That's what they've hung their hat on.
Yeah, but right now the Goodyear tires are 1, 2, and 3.
I know.
Actually,
Close my mic.
Bobby Unser. This time.
Bob Jenkins, Ari Limelight, back in Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Las Vegas 500, the Pep Boys Indy Racing League. Moments ago, Johnny Unser was in a position that appeared to pass Eddie Cheever for the lead, and all of a sudden, Unser loses second to Kenny Bragg, and now is under attack from Sam Schmidt.
It's amazing. In one lap ago, he was challenging Kenny for the lead. Right now, he's fourth. So it gives us a lot of stuff to look at, which is great.
As he goes down the backstretch, just about to complete the 6 laps of this race. We're going here to broadcast by Tony George, the founder of the Pep Boys Indy Racing League. The statement is being released today concerning the future of this league, and I have looked over the statement briefly, but Tony, I think it's best if you just describe basically what is contained in the statement. We all know that there have been negotiations going on between the Pep Boys Indy Racing League and the CART FedEx Championship Series regarding possible changes and coming together in 2 years. What's the statement that you released?
First of all, Bob, he's got to do a great job. But a lot of dialogue
the tri-oval part of the racetrack, and so we'll get back to conversation with you in just a moment. It appears to be Scott Goodyear who has crashed.
Well, that's not a yellow car, guys, so I don't know who it is, but it's not. It is?
Looks like the side of the car was torn off in the crash, and so what we're seeing is something other than the yellow. Scott's moving around. He appears to be okay, trying to take the steering wheel off. That was a very hard crash. It ripped off all the bodywork on the other side of the car, and we thought it was a black car. He's moving around.
What happened, Doug? You see it?
But he's trying to get out, so that's a good sign.
Are assisting him, but he's doing most of the work himself in unstrapping and unlatching everything that he's attached to and stepping out of the car under his own power. So that's terrific news, because it was a very hard crash, and of course that's one of the drivers that we were keeping a close eye on today regarding the championship for 1999. It's certainly a major blow to Scott here. But as you look at that car, you notice that all 4 tires are on it, and that's good.
Considering the hard hit he took, all tires stayed on the car, and that's
Let's take a look at it once again. Again, this is in turn 4. Oh!
He was running fairly close to another car, but basically he just spin out just basically on his own. And you see the tire move around, bob around, but not going away from the car.
This ought to be a good angle. It's his onboard camera down the backstretch now, setting into turn number 3.
That sounded like something just gave away, which made him spin.
Meanwhile, we have some pit stops. Eddie Cheever comes in. Here's Vince.
Well, Cheever's going to change the pressures in the stagger to try to fix a push that he's experiencing. No wing adjustments on the car right now. What's amazing is that Eddie has had to communicate to his team all the changes that they wanted to make through hand signals because they don't have the radio. A great stop for Team Cheever. Very quick, in and out.
Maintaining an 80-mile-an-hour speed on the downhill. Kenny Schreck also comes out. And Sam Schmidt has stalled the engine. Now they get it refired, and Sam is away, but that'll cost him a few seconds.
Just off being on the yellow is not that costly, but if you're running on the green to install it, then it's quite a different story. This is a great chance for Greg Ray now to adjust his car, make it work better for him.
And this round of pit stop just comes at a good time because it's lap number 51, and that's just about the time that they had planned to come in for the first round of pit stop. Sorry, Tony, sorry to have interrupted you. Let's get back to the statement regarding your talks with the other organizations recently.
Well, as I was saying, there's just a lot of speculation, and I don't think a lot of people have a true appreciation for how difficult some of these issues can be to address. It's a very complex situation. There's a lot of very important issues in dealing with 2 organizations, and it's not an easy thing to resolve, and it's going to take some time. I'm sure dialogue will continue, and we'll try and have that in the spirit of what's in the best interest of open wheel racing and friendly competition. But I think that it's important for all of the teams and sponsors in both series to have a strong sense of where each series is going. We made a commitment last fall to the rules package, which takes our equipment to the next iteration, and it's being tested right now, and it's very good, and it's doing everything we want. We're not anxious to go change that. Change is important. We've gone through a lot of change the last couple of years, but stability is part of our fabric here in the Indy Racing League, and we want to hold true to that. So as long as the competition is good, the product we want, I think it would not be in our best interest to do anything to change that at this point in time. So if we look to see in the future, the Indy Racing League is going forward as is part. We're both working on the schedules for next year. and beyond. We have some exciting venues that we're going to be going to in 2000, 2001, and we're excited about that. So the future does look bright for open wheel racing, and I think both organizations are working to ensure that future.
Just last week, of course, it was announced that the Pep Boys Indy Racing League would be competing at the new Kentucky Speedway in the year 2000, and there will be news this coming week regarding the new facility up near the Chicago area. So again, everybody in the year 2000 will have an opportunity to run the Pep Boys Indy Racing League at any event that they want to, including the Indy 500.
Sure, and that's been the case for a while, and at the inception there was some incentive to try and get people to participate in the league, and now that we're established that you know, and the playing field is level, you know, everyone's comfortable with that situation. We welcome anybody who wants to come. New teams starting up, teams that, you know, have been in racing before and want to get involved in maybe the sport again. And all that. And I think, you know, we look forward maybe one day to some of the club teams and drivers competing in some, if not all, of our events.
Tony, thanks for joining us, and we appreciate your making the announcement here on ESPN as we kick off what we hope will be a very long association with the Pep Boys Indy Racing League, the last two races of this year, and of course all the races in 2000. Back with more of the Las Vegas 500 in a moment. A lot of different racing series in action today. You'll get the entire wrap-up from Whit Watson on RPM tonight at 9 o'clock. Here on ESPN2, results of the MBNA Gold 400 from Dover Downs. That's the NASCAR Winston Cup race. Texaco Grand Prix of Houston for the Card FedEx Championship Series, and the Formula One teams competed in the Grand Prix of Europe earlier today. Hear it all at 9 o'clock tonight on RPM tonight. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Still under caution because of Scott Goodyear's crash. 55 laps have been completed. Stefan Gregoire is the leader of the race with Nicholas Johnson in second. Those guys pitted earlier and did not pit under this caution, but Eddie Cheever is running in third position. He was the leader, of course, when we went to the caution, and it's been an incredible run by Cheever as he started 18th and just went around cars outside, inside, everywhere, all right?
That's just when it's fun, when the car's working good for you, just going left, right, in between. Here we go, slicing through traffic. There he takes the lead and says to himself, man, I got there in a hurry from 18th place. So he's just having a ball today. But he has one problem, though. If his car changes a lot, he's not going to be able to communicate with his pits because he cannot talk back to them. So when he puts his hand on the dash, they know it's pushing. When he points his finger backwards, they know it's loose. And that's about all he can tell them.
But as we get set to go back to racing, Stefan Gregoire is at the front of the field, Jack.
Bob, if you ever gone to the blackjack table, what you try to do is count the cards, figure out how many face cards have come out. You may stand on a 17 or you may take a hit on a 12. That's what Richie Simon and this crew for Stefan Gregoire have decided to do. After that caution where you were punted, you came in and topped off. How big of a window does that open up for you, Richie?
Well, we think we actually topped off twice, so now we think we've got about 30 laps to work with. The way the racetrack's been playing out, there may be another one, and it'll work out for us. So, I mean, it's worth a shot for us. We went for track position, and cars running at the end of that stint there, we were running as fast as the leader, so we'll just have to see what happens. But, you know, this is a race. We have like 300 people from Mexmill here, and we want to put on a nice race for them. And, you know, I feel really good about the car. Everything went well this weekend, and hopefully we can lead this thing now to the end.
Fellas, remember, this is one of the teams that does no testing. All of their testing takes place on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of the race week. Let's check in with Vince Welsh. There's a problem in Buddy Lazier's pit.
Oh, what a disappointment. Lazier was the fastest in practice yesterday's in the final practice session. He has been running very well of late, fourth at Pikes Peak, second the race before, but they've got engine problems. They just can't seem to find any power. They check the electronics, and in fact, they've changed all the electronics in the car, but still can't get it to go faster than 185 miles per hour. And all right, you know 185 is not going to do you much good out here today.
No, it'll just be in everybody's way, and it's probably then better to park it.
Lazier back in the 23rd position as the work continues on his car. Meanwhile, the indication has been given that we will go green next time by. Gregoire and Johnson are the first two. Nicholas Johnson running in second. His very first Pep Boys Indy Racing League event. There he is. Cheever, Breck, and Dismore complete the top five.
Turn 4 is a little slippery. The oil dry is laying down there from Scott Goodyear's accident. Clean up Cruz, put that down there. Always going to be a little slippery.
And we are back to racing. On lap number 59, we were 10 laps under caution because of the Scott Goodyear crash. And Eddie Cheever again continues to move toward the front.
There he goes underneath Tyce Carlson, looking to retake that lead. Right now he's in second place.
Carlson is running at 19th spot. He is a lap down. And look at Cheever close up on Johnson, taking the second position.
He just took the lead, Bob. I'm sorry to say it, but that was Gregoire. And here he goes underneath Jeff Ward, who's another lap down. Jeff Ward, uncharacteristically, running very slow this weekend. He's just struggling. But Eddie Cheever's back in the lead, where he wants to be. Here's Tyce Carlson. Looking to regain the position on, or at least trying to get back that lap. But Eddie Cheever just going too fast to do that.
Cheever just pulls away from everybody and seems to put himself in the lead once again. Cheever has won earlier this year in the league as he opened the 1999 season with a victory in Orlando. On board with Kenny Breck, who's running in third spot.
Kenny Breck there closing in on Stefan Gregoire. Right ahead of Stefan is Eddie Cheever. So now the field is settled down. But let's remember that Gregoire has less fuel on board than these other guys. The other guys do have new tires, fresh rubber, so that will make them a little bit quicker. But he has less fuel on board, so it's kind of a trade-off. But it looks like the new tires are a better way to go. Stefan cannot keep up with the guys running up front.
More on Kenny Breck from Jack Arute.
Well, Bob, Tim Wardrop, as Ari Lyondike alluded to, is calling the engineering shots on this car for Kenny Breck. They had a little bit of understeer condition before that last pit stop. They solved it with a front wing adjustment, Ari. And according to Tim, right now, Kenny Breck likes this G-Force that he's running.
The G-Force seems to be the better car on this particular track, but having said that, Eddie Cheever is the leader in the Dallara, running on Goodyear tires. Kenny Breck on Goodyear tires. For a moment, I thought he was going to close in just past Stefan, but Stefan kind of cut him off a little bit, cost him his momentum, and it takes about 1 or 2 laps to get the momentum back up. He got full speed.
Top three running about equal distance from each other on board with Breck once again. He has competed twice here in Las Vegas, finished 22nd, started 6th, reached 10th. Last year again, he closes in on Gregoire, looking for the second spot. Good run on him coming down through the tri-oval near the D-shaped racetrack, and Breck goes to second.
Tyce Carlson right there behind Gregoire is actually looking to pass him as well, but obviously Tyce is a lap down, so he's out of our picture as far as that goes.
Carlson is a lap down. It isn't any threat to get back on the lead lap right now. He's running at just about the same speed as those running up front. Vince has more on Eddie Cheever, who just continues to pull away.
Yeah, they've not even touched the race car as far as the chassis adjustment is concerned. They've gone up a step on the stagger, but otherwise the race car is handled perfectly. And it's a good day to be in front of Eddie Cheever. Infinity racing in Los Angeles, just 5 hours away, so this is supposed to be a hometown race. Infinity will get a lot of company executives here this weekend. You got to believe, as the lone Infinity power machine in the car, those executives are very happy to see 51 running up front.
The thing in the back of his mind is, yesterday in qualifying, I had a problem with my engine. Is it going to hold up for me today? I'm sure Eddie's thinking about that. Jacques Lazier.
Yeah, 6th place car, Jacques Lazier. His brother Buddy is having problems. We documented that a few days ago, but Jacques Lazier is very much in contention here, running in 6th spot.
He's closing in on Buzz Carpenter, running in 5th spot right now. 2 boys from Colorado, and it looks like he's going to take that position here pretty soon. Right ahead of them is Mark Dismore, 4th place, so a tight battle here, 3rd, 4th, 5th.
And again, we'll keep you championship all day long. Two main contenders, Scott Goodyear, he has already crashed out of this event. He finishing back in 24th position as Lazier again tries to get the position away from Buzz Hawkins. The battle for the 5th position, and Lazier has it. And Greg Ray is not a contender here this afternoon. He has it right along, but he's already back in 14th position.
Yeah, you think that after that pit stop they would correct their loose condition, but they haven't been able to correct it. They're going to fight that. Apparently they're going to fight that the rest of the day, and that's just, you have one of those days on the way to work. You get all the red lights, and some days you get all the green lights.
There is Eddie Cheever and Kenny Breck. Breck beginning to close in just a little bit on Cheever. So 69 laps have been 208 here at Las Vegas.
Eddie's closing in a little bit on Eddie, but always closing in on Eddie is one thing, passing him in is another, because he really knows how to make the race car a little wide. That Pokemon machine to get by Gregoire. And the track in turn 3, right in that area there, gets very tight, makes very tight radius. And when you go underneath a guy there, you usually have to back up a little bit and then settle for the exit of the turn, which is exactly what he's doing right here.
And Jack Lazier is in 4th position.
Buddy Lazier came here on Thursday, and they were confused, Rob. They didn't have really much of a handle on this racetrack. They hung up and they talked about it. They talked about the fact that, look, let's approach it like Pikes Peak on steroids. So they went to their Pikes Peak setup, and they adjusted them a little bit. But what Jacques Lazier did that I find so fascinating is they were the latest crew of every single team. And there's been a change in the lead, guys.
Yeah, the power team has powered itself to the front as Kenny Breck takes the lead from Eddie Cheever.
Boy, and you know, that G-Force is working very good for AJ Ford's team there, and they haven't run that car in 98 or 99, and this is 2 races to go. AJ Foyt said to himself, I'm going to throw everything I have at this championship. For Kenny Breck, being 3rd in the points, right now being the race, is exactly where they wanted to be in contention.
Major ground in this race, and of course there's another event to go, so don't count Breck out of a second consecutive title in the Pep Boys Indy Racing League. Breck leads over Cheever and Dismore. Well, tonight on NFL football here on ESPN, it's the New York Giants against the New England Patriots from Foxborough Stadium. That's at 8 o'clock tonight, and then tomorrow night on ABC Monday Night Football, the 49ers and the Cardinals go at it from the TWA Dome. That's at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Or log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, Go.com. 79 laps completed here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Las Vegas 500 for the Pep Boys in racing, and Kenny Breck is about a 2.5-second lead over Eddie Cheever. Jacques Lazier running 3rd, Mark Dismore 4th, and Sam Schmidt is running in the 5th position. There's Greg Ray, who is back to 13, and certainly things are not going for him the way that he had hoped. To remind you of Ari's keys to the race that we told you about.
Well, looking at the handling key here, this is definitely a problem for Greg Ray today, and brings us to Greg Ray's day. That he's not having a good day. Scott Goodyear has had a worse day. Has had a big crash. Blocked at his knee right now. So Scott Goodyear's not going to get many points. But the way things are going for Greg Ray, he hasn't been able to fix his car during that first pit stop. So I think he's going to have a long day as well.
Now to Jack Arute.
Ari, that's exactly the problem with Greg Ray. They are chasing the elusive handle of this racetrack. In fact, they have yet to find exactly what they want. But limping out of the trailer now is the man that Greg Ray was most concerned about. That's Scott Goodyear. Scott, first of all,
just a little bit of leg in the knee and all that sort of stuff. Maybe a lot of trouble.
what about what happened out there?
I'm not really too sure. Got a great race car. No trouble all day long, and the thing just swapped ends. So I just something broke, or the tire went down. Before I was going backwards before I hit the wall. That may be the bad news, guys. Good news that the Pennzoil Panther team revealed earlier this morning. They moved the Pennzoil, and they're good at 2,000 There you go, fellas.
That's Scott Goodyear, who's okay after a hard ride. This one back there in 5th.
Sam's been closing in a little bit, but got caught up in traffic there, and Rob Atkins managed to start working that all over again and get this momentum back. One guy today so far is just making great strides towards the championship at the end of the year is Kenny Breckenham leading this race.
Sam Schmidt here will watch the telemetry. Courtesy of 12.5 on 199 miles, over just about 200 miles an hour. There went up to 203. Steve Knapp has joined us here in the broadcast booth. Steve is on the mend from an accident suffered at Atlanta earlier this year. How are you doing? Got the neck brace on, I see, but you look good.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good. You know, I'd like to thank everybody for all the cards and everything everybody sent me. Just dying to get back into the car. And, it's pretty action-packed up in the booth. I didn't realize how much work you guys did up there.
Yeah. It's pretty wild, isn't it?
It's more than in the car, Steve.
So are you in rehab? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm getting rehab on my shoulder right now, and I'll start rehab on my neck the 1st of October. I should be out of my brace by the end of October and back in November.
See Sam Schmidt taking the 4th position there from Mark Dismore. 27 car, we understand. That's Nicholas Johnson. He has made it to pit lane. We understand there's some fluency in that car, so the situation in which his first Pep Boys Indy Racing League event is over. What he's doing up there in that area of the pit lane, you are.
Looks like there's some smoke coming from the back, but it might be getting warm in there. But if it is warm, get out. Tyce Carlson was slowing on the front straight, really caused a little bit of problem there for Sam Schmidt, who then got passed again by Dismore, or almost got passed by Dismore, and he's on his way to the pits.
Fire there in the back of the Johnson car.
He's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he figured out, I better get out of here.
Probably a good idea. Nicholas Johnson from Sweden.
There's Tyce Carlson following right back in the pit. Now there's a lot of water on pit lane, and that's going to be a problem for Tyce if he's leaving here pretty soon. He has to be careful accelerating out of the pit. Speed.
Jack, a lot of activity down there near you.
Well, indeed there is. While the leader, Kenny Breck, continues to go around the racetrack, his teammate who is driving in the car, the Harris car, Boyd Billy Boat, pulls onto pit road. They're going to go to work and make the phenomenal change. Now, the big key, folks, is to watch the nose of the car. If there's any major chassis changes that will come on the wing angle, no, there wasn't. Right there now, she's led through from AJ Boyd Stable, sends Brack's teammate back out of the racetrack.
And here's Robbie Unser passing Mark Dismore for position.
So Unser takes a spot away from Dismore as both of those cars run in the top 5. Unser is 5th and Dismore in 6th position. The leader of the race continues to be Kenny Breck. At Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Johnny Unser has brushed the wall in turn number 4. Not a hard hit by any means. Car hasn't even stopped yet. There was just an incredible amount of traffic moving through turns 3 and 4, and I think Johnny was trying to be too courteous and got up in the loose stuff and couldn't keep it away from the wall.
He got kind of hung out to dry there on the top side of the line of the racetrack and ended up in the grade. Just slid really gently into the wall, but just enough to put him out for the day.
3-car crash here at the Las Vegas 500 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway has brought out another caution. There were the 3 cars involved: Billy Boat, Mark Dismore, and John Hollinsworth. Everybody has walked away okay. Caution coming out on lap 112, and there's a lot of debris up in that corner. Let's see what happened.
We can't really see what happened. Billy Boat is ahead of the pack there. Mark Dismore was a victim of that crash between Hollandsworth and Billy Boat. But it looks like Hollandsworth drove into the back of Billy. Those two cars started spinning around. Mark was very close. Really couldn't go left or right. Just went right smack in the middle of them.
Well,
Here
his
you
car
see.
got way up on Boats, didn't it?
Yeah, he rode one of his wheels and got up in the air, but that happened at very slow speed. So.
And once again, a major disappointment
Right here.
for Mark Dismore. There is the onboard camera showing you how he got up on Boat's car for a while. Mark Dismore has been so competitive this year, and you think that a victory is so close, but things seem to go wrong at the most inopportune times. Let's go down to Jackaroo.
Bob, another driver that is having more than his share of bad times today is the current point leader. Bernard Edwards for Greg Ray is on pit road. It's been here now for 3 laps. They have a big misfire in their engine. In fact, it's only firing on 7 cylinders. They've changed the wiring harness to the spark plugs. They've also changed the ECM. They're not sure what the problem is, but they're seeing their sizable point lead go up in smoke here in Las Vegas, Vince.
And another team that has seen it go up in smoke. In fact, 3 teams, Boat, Dismore, and John Hollandsworth. This is John Lopes, team manager for John Hollandsworth Team Extreme. What happened? Any indication from John going into that turn?
Well, I guess it's one of those things when you come to Vegas, you roll the dice and you either come up or down. We came up down. It looked like a racing deal. John just went in hard, was racing his heart out. We had 2 stalls in the pits. The crew came back. John came back. We were running 11th, strong. We were the fastest car on the track for several laps, and he just went in there as one of those racing deals. You know, we hate it for Lycos and Capcom, our sponsors, but also I think as a new team, the crew, John, they've been working their hearts out, and we'll be in Texas. We're looking forward to coming back.
John Hollandsworth's had several good qualifying runs in a row, looking to put that nice race finish together in Texas.
Hollandsworth, Boat, and Dismore, the victims of this most recent incident. Steve Knapp, thanks for joining us up here, and best of luck in putting something together for 2000.
Thank you very much, guys.
We'll be back with more of the Las Vegas 500 in just a moment. Cleanup continues here at the Las Vegas 500. 3 cars involved in the most recent incident. Mark Dismore, John Hollandsworth, and also Billy Boat. And Greg Ray is on pit road, and Ray slowed when the green came out. The car just didn't seem to pick up speed, and that may already been a contributing factor to this incident.
Crash was a result of Greg Ray being down on the bottom of the racetrack. John Hollandsworth here had to move up the track, but he didn't realize or whatever saw that Billy Boat was on his right side. So he had to move up because Greg Ray was running slow. And that's why the accident happened. It was a result of Greg Ray slowing down. And my question is, all of a sudden Greg Ray picked up a misfire. Did he pick up the misfire because he hit Mark Dismore earlier that hard? It rattled the equipment in there, the ignition box and other things.
Well, in any case, it has not been a good day for the current points leader of the Pep Boys Indy Racing League, Greg Ray. He once again is on pit road. He's shown in 19th position right now. Back in a moment. A week from today on ESPN, it's the Napa Auto Care 500 for the NASCAR Winston Cup season, as Benny Parsons and Ned Jarrett will join me in the Martinsville booth with John Kernan, Jerry Punch, and Bill Weber in the pit. That's next Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time as we resume our coverage of the Winston Cup Series at Martinsville. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. One guy we haven't talked about today is Robbie Buell. Robbie started back in 21st position and is currently running in 8th. He has never finished outside the top 10 here at Las Vegas in 3 previous appearances. He finished 8th, 96, 3rd in 97, and 7th last year. What a great job this guy is doing. We, of course, all remember what happened to him at the Indianapolis 500 when he had car problems, then he crashed. He took a car from the A.J. Foyt stable, and within 45 minutes, they had the car prepared. He had it in the race, started back in the last row, and drove all the way to a top 10 finish. Robbie's had a fine day here today also.
Robbie Buell heads up the Racing for Kids program, and he's done a tremendous job throughout the years, visiting all children's hospitals throughout the country, and really puts in a great effort for those kids.
fact, last Thursday, he visited 56 sick children at the Las Vegas University Medical Center. It was his 4th visit to that hospital as part of his Racing for Kids program. Robbie Buell currently running in 8th position, and there are 10 cars on the lead lap. He should be going back to green here before too long. 10 cars on the lead lap are Breck, Cheever, Lazier, Hawkins, Schmidt, Robbie Unser, Davey Hamilton, Robbie Buell, Robbie McGee is running in 9th position, and Scott Sharp in 10th. Again, a reminder that at 7 o'clock tonight, we're going to wrap up on all the day's activity, including the Ryder Cup, football, baseball, a lot of stuff going on. And Brian Kenny and Trey Wingo will have the report at 7 o'clock tonight on ESPN SportsCenter. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Half a lap now away from going back to competition as the pace car pulls off the racetrack. Field moving through corner number 3. Kenny Breck and Eddie Cheever running in 1st and 2nd position. A good run by Jock Lazier, who is in 3rd as the green comes out. We are back to racing on lap 123.
He was showing his nose to the inside just to make it rattle a little bit more. That works with Kenny. Pretty much for that. Kenny's looking in his mirror that that engine might be blasted, but it might be a false sense of security for him, because today might just be the day that the engine will come through and win his first race. Kenny's running up there all day long.
One other thing you got to talk about is the fact that next year these engine sizes will be reduced from 4 liters to 3.5, as we see some and Infiniti has been working on that 3.5 liter engine now for quite a while, and they may hit the ground running come 2000.
That's right. They have a lot of experience with that Vermont engine running 3.5 liters. These guys are in a good position to really take over the dominance of Wilkesville Aurora next year.
And another car is in the fence in turn 4. That appears to be Donnie Beechler, who spun on the opening lap and survives until lap 124 when the Big Daddy's barbecue sauce car comes in contact with the turn 4 wall.
And it's quite a shame to see this many incidents here today. I think the key is the heat. Track temperature well above 120 degrees. Tires are just having to work really, really hard here today. And, you know, with the conditions being great last night, maybe a night race would be a little bit better for us.
I remember racing here at night, though, a couple of years ago, and it was terribly cold. Larry Curry is acting as a consultant for this Donnie Beechler car. There's Greg Ray. He's out of the race. We'll talk to him when we come back. Cleaning up the debris here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the Las Vegas 500 for the Pep Boys Indy Racing League. Donnie Beechler, the most recent driver to experience an incident. Take a look at what happened, as Beechler is a guy who epitomizes one reason why the Pep Boys Indy Racing League was formed. A young man from Springfield, Illinois. There he is running all by himself, Ari, and just lost it.
That's right. Nothing really seems to be going on with the car or anything. Maybe just the car being loose for him anyway, behind other traffic, making it worse, and just lost it on his own.
As I was saying, a young man from Springfield, Illinois, who grew up on the dirt tracks in the Indiana and Illinois area. As you indicated early in the race, he is coming off a win at the 16th Street Speedway in Indianapolis, which is a quarter-mile dirt track. But Donnie loves to drive race cars, regardless of where it is or what kind it is. And unfortunately, his day has come to a premature end here this afternoon. Meanwhile, let's check on the status of Greg Ray. Doesn't look good, Vince.
Well, anytime Greg Ray or any driver is standing here on the side talking with one of us while the cars are on the track, that's not a good sign. Greg, what happened?
Well, I mean, it was really disappointing. You know, we had a good car, and I was taking it easy. In the first part of the race, we were running as quick as the leaders, and we worked our way back up. And I mean, it's unfortunate. Mark Dismore had he had a hard time on turn 4, and I had a big run on him. And I was going down low, and he kind of took the white line, so I couldn't pass him there. So I went to the high side. I showed my nose to him all the way down the front straight, and I was side by side with him going into turn 1. And I mean, you know, Mark's the nicest guy in the world out of the car, but I've had more than one run-in with him on the racetrack. And I mean, he has rearview mirrors, and he has a spotter, and you know, I don't know why he did that. It was really uncalled for. And you know, we changed the nose and you know, get back in the race, and unfortunately, I think they hit cause something to go wrong in the electrical system. So, you know, we're going to have to rely on that home track advantage at the Texas Motor Speedway to see if we can get this thing finished up.
Feeling better?
I'm feeling a little angry right now, but you know, I'll be healthy for Texas.
Greg Ray looks to wrap up the championship in Texas, but it'll be quite a battle, especially if Kenny Breck, who's leading now, comes through with a victory.
And that next Pep Boys Indy Racing League event, the last one of the 1999 season, is on October 17th, and you can see that race on ABC at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, the Lone Star 500.
Unfortunately here, Rob, Donnie Beechler was not able to walk into the ambulance himself. We'll get an update on that later.
He did get out of the car under his own power, but then sat on the car for quite a while and is in the ambulance. John Hollinsworth also being treated for an injury to his left foot. We'll be right back. Donnie Beechler's car is being taken off the racetrack after Donnie hit the wall up in turn number 4. Take a look at the points as of now. Greg Ray has just a narrow 4-point advantage on Kenny Breck as it stands right now, with just one more race to go in Texas. And the points certainly have shaken up here today, because Goodyear came into this race second in points. He drops to 4th, and Eddie Cheever is only 39 behind in the battle for the championship. And there you see 6 through 10. So this is going to be quite interesting.
Quite a turn of events right here.
Well, Jack Arute, looks like that Kenny Breck may be looking at a second straight championship. I'm sure AJ is.
Well, AJ, you said it best when I said you've got it down now to 4 points. Your answer was?
Well, that's quite true. You know, like I say, I hope today just winds up like it is. And I'm just ashamed about the Harris car, but you know, Harris sponsors this car with Power Team, so they're an associate sponsor. It's a long ways to go yet. Anything can happen. So all we're doing is just trying to do the best we can.
AJ, going into the Indianapolis 500 after the problems that Kenny had early in the season, you guys kind of looked and said, well, let's go win Indy. Then once you got that under your belt, then you got serious about the championship.
Well, that's quite true. You know, you're always trying to win championships regardless, but, you know, we've had our fair share. We had a good day at Indy, and all I want to do is just try to get out of here alive. You know, we got a new car. I got it here. It's a G-Force car. It's the first time we run one. Couple of years. Got Tim that worked with Line Dyke. He's helping on the engineering of it. And what else can I say? We're all just working here together, and we've been working hard all weekend, and we're doing the best job we can.
Vince Welch, one of the things that Kenny Breck does after every race is he sends a memo to A.J. Foyt. I'd like to see the subject of that memo at the end of this race.
Well, he certainly hopes it's talking about a victory, and so does this Team Cheever. The brain thrust huddled talking about fuel strategy. They're going to have to make another stop, probably in the 165 lap area, but this yellow really helped them out, because if they wouldn't have gotten the yellow, they would have had to stop for fuel and tires and then come for a splash and go. But right now, everybody's happy with the way the car is handling. The Infiniti engine is holding up, and wouldn't that be a huge victory if Infiniti could put one in victory circle this weekend?
That power plant has never won in Pep Boys Indy Racing League activity, and so we'll see if Eddie can bring them their first victory here today.
Well, what a turnaround in points. I mean, we were talking about Scott Goodyear and Greg Ray, the guys we were looking at before this race started. Now we're looking at Kenny Breck. At the moment, if he would win this race, he would only be 4 points behind Greg Ray. And when Vince Welch asked Greg Ray how he felt, now we know why he felt the way he did.
Breck won the championship, of course, last year, due in part to the fact that he put together 3 consecutive wins at Charlotte, Pikes Peak, and Atlanta. Then in the final 2 races of the year, he put together a 5th place finish at Texas and a 10th place finish here at Las Vegas to wrap up the championship. Green flag comes out. Here we go once again. Jacques Lazier running in return position, and he has been a contender virtually all day, staying right with Cheever and Breck as the green comes out to resume competition.
That's a good job. Great run. Those guys in front, Breck, Cheever, and Lazier are all on Goodyear tires. But the show as well, what the tires are today, well, we know Goodyears are working really well here today in this heat. Buzz Carpenter's running there 4th, right behind Salazar behind. Buzz Carpenter's having the best record this year. His best finish this year is the 5th in Atlanta so far right now. Right now he's in 4th position.
The 7th car running, John Cox. Scott Sharp is right there also. That's a three-car battle for position. And Sharp goes to the inside of McGee and takes away that spot. So from Sharp up to 9th.
Yeah, Robbie got pretty close to quite close to his momentum. One shot was thrown by battle position.
As Kenny Breck continues to lead. Let's get a report from the pit area from Vince Welch on the running John Cox black flag.
Absolutely, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be a stop and go for jumping the start for this time. Take advantage of the opportunity. Go ahead and change the tires and add some fuel as well. This rookie struggling here this weekend. It's a tough place to run. Larry Curry told me earlier today that if they could just come out here, take this car, put it in one position, keep it in one piece, and take it back, and they'll be happy with it that way. Well, now they're not going to change the tires and the fuel. I think they were confused. I think Christ
Danny Cheever losing oil.
Cheever has blown up on the 138th lap. Yesterday, he was on his second lap of qualifying, and all of a sudden, a big plume of yellow, blue, white smoke coming from the back of the car, and now it happens on lap 138 as Cheever runs in second position. Great for him.
Maybe I shouldn't have spoken about that. Well, that's too bad. It was a great race.
There is no yellow. The green flag stays out, but as Eddie enters pit road, you can see a little flame there in the back of the car.
I think he shifted down and gave it a big gas on it. Together, I guess. He's just kind of angry right now.
Vince, tough break for Eddie.
It certainly is, and he's coming in. This Team Cheever had its fingers crossed the entire day, trying to, and hoping that this was going to be the day. They got into a victory lane, and they get it in, and you can see Eddie very animated and very upset. He believed he had a car that could win this race today, and he just told Owen Snyder to turn it off. As soon as he gets that helmet off, he'll have a word with him.
And looks like that Robbie Unser isn't going to make it around as he pulls the Petromani car off the racetrack, and he does get it off the track, so this will not result in a caution. But we're losing cars here right and left as Unser drops out. Rutherford right there in the pace car. There is Kenny Breck, who now has a 1.5 second lead on Jacques. Now question, Jacques has been the story of the race as Robbie McGee and Davey Hamilton battle for the 6th position. McGee has taken the spot from Hamilton right there with Scott Sharp.
Scott Sharp will have a great day today. Mark Dismore running for Kelly Racing. Qualified fairly decent, but started slipping back in track. They haven't been able to get one.
Vince, let's talk to Eddie.
Eddie, the car was hooked up today in the class of the field for much of this race. What happened there at the end?
It was running extremely well. We are in the middle of the program. We're trying things that definitely in the top 3 and had a good start at Black. The first year we've been a very good job.
Frustrated that maybe you were obviously frustrating that you're with the car or in the to win.
It will take us. We need more time. The racing program Nissan has been involved in, they have won. I see no reason why that will not happen. We've been a little bit unlucky. I don't know what broke today, but we'll find something. We will get to the front with this engine.
Eddie Cheever.
Well, now we see Sam Schmidt up in the thick of things as Black, Zier, and Schmidt are running right together on the racetrack.
Sam Schmidt running on Firestone tires. Now he's joining the leaders up front, running on Goodyear tires. So it's anybody's race right now. But Sam looks to have cured the small handling problems he had earlier in the race. Third place right here.
We talked earlier about Donnie Beechler and how he comes to the Pep Boys Indy Racing League from the sprints and midgets as Schmidt goes to second now, passing Jacques Lazier. There's a young lady who is also in that category and has her sights set on this league. More from Jackaroo.
Well, Bob, first, let's update you on the team that's going to be driving for us, a teammate to Robbie Unser. Unser is in the pits, and what they've done is they've changed the black box in hopes that maybe that would solve the problem. The car just plain stopped. But this is 18-year-old Sarah Fisher, who will make history at the Texas Motor Speedway at the age of 19. We're going to get your IRL start.
It's real exciting, you know. I'm here just trying to learn what's going on in the pits, Robbie's pits, until we are named for that race. It's kind of depressing to see them do paddling now because they were doing good at first, but hopefully we'll get better.
Sarah, what have you learned so far by being on pit road and also the testing that you've done?
Communication is so pertinent, and you know, we're going to have to get a spotter that can really communicate with me and just let me know what's going on with the track, and also communication between me and the engineer, which we're working on right now.
Well, almost a change for the lead. Certainly Sam Schmidt is within striking distance, but hasn't got the job done just yet. But Schmidt has definitely closed in on Kenny Brack for the lead. They're the top three cars, as you see the Chevrolet's far back just a little bit now, but still in contention. And Vince, Sam Schmidt moves back toward the front.
Well, he's less than 4 tenths of a second behind Kenny Brack, and the car was hooked up. They battled some push problems, but they've adjusted the status throughout the course of the day. And right now, the car may be as good as it's been all afternoon. And hey, it's a nice time to have a good car when it's coming toward the end. Keep an eye on Schmidt. He is on the move.
Indeed he is. He may have the car up high, doing well, going into one, and he may have the lead. He does. Sam Schmidt goes into the lead with 59 laps to go.
And one advantage that Sam has right now also is that Kenny Brack is thinking about not just finishing up front, but also thinking about points right now.
Well, Sam Schmidt's best career finish came at Pikes Peak earlier this year, and here at Las Vegas last year, runner-up. We'll be right back. Back at the Las Vegas 500 for the Pep Boys Indy Racing League. Sam Schmidt has the lead. We're on board with Kenny Brack. Notice anything that looks a little strange on it?
Well, here we have some vibration going. You see the camera on top of the car? There's a little bit of vibration going on. That seems to happen with the Goodyear tires every so often.
Jack Arute, is that what they're talking about down to the point pit?
Bob, that's exactly what they're saying. That they won saving races, that they're going to pit in the next 5 laps. So AJ said this radio to Kenny said, can you hold on for 5? And I'll tell you what, I don't blame him, Larry. Whether he did or he didn't, Kenny Brack said, okay.
Well, the thing is, when it's vibrating like that, you're not sure. Is it the tires or is it something else going away on my car? So you know it's going to fall. It's definitely something that's looking forward to. Jack Arute closed in a little bit on Kenny Brack.
Brack is holding on to the second spot, but there is Lazier closing down. Meanwhile, Sam Schmidt is widened his lead 1.3 seconds over Brack. There is Lazier. And there is Robbie Buell. And again, Buell continues to turn in an incredible performance for this afternoon. In 4th position after having started back in 21st.
Yeah, he's having a great run, and Larry Stewart is a shot to the picture. A lot of good shots.
This race from Tony Stewart and Larry Stewart. This car a great run. It's about 7 laps down in the 13th position. Bobby McCoy, Indianapolis 500 this year is having a good run. He's in 5th spot. And the Energizer Batteries car, and by the way, they announced a new sponsor on that car, or an associate sponsor. Batteries.com, the largest internet
Racing is looking to repeat victory at this racetrack. Last year I won the race with Fenway Racing. Sam Schmidt last year. And they struggled a little bit at the beginning of the race, but really got it dialed in now. And Sam seems to be running on rails, and that's what he wants.
And we have the caution out once again, as it looks like Ronnie John Cox has come in contact with the wall. He's got damage on the right side of that car. And he bangs the inside wall in turn number 3 to bring the car to a halt, and the caution waves once again. So Ronnie John Cox, one of the TriStar drivers who we talked about just a few moments ago, running in 13th position, now finds himself crashed out at the Las Vegas 500. Tom Jenkins, Ari Lyondike, Vince Welch, and Jack Arute at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Pep Boys Indy Racing League Las Vegas 500. We're under caution because of an incident involving Ronnie John Cox in the backstretch. The pits are open. Here's Vince.
Sam Schmidt coming in, looking to lock up his first victory of the season and do it here in his hometown of Las Vegas. Skip Ball having trouble getting that right front tire off, but he now adjusts it. Tire is off, guns are away. No chassis adjustment to this tire. Other than that,
Kenny Brack beat him out of the pits.
The biggest deal was that Kenny Brack beat Sam Schmidt out of the pits. Now, you know the problem that Kenny Brack was complaining about, always saying that he had a vibration. They discovered what the problem was. AJ Foyt has gone down on the rear tire by over 3 pounds of recommended air pressure. He said, Kenny, we figured it out with Billy Boat as well. It makes the tire wear head shape. That's the vibration. So Kenny questioned a little bit and said, look, go back to the middle. Don't worry about it. Might tighten the car up a little bit. So to compensate for that, he took a little bit of made a wing adjustment in the front.
He's got the lead, and we'll see if he can hang on to it when we go back to green. Meanwhile, let's go back and document this incident involving Ronnie John Cox. Let's find out if we can determine what happened. Just got up a little bit high, Ari.
Same thing that happened to Robbie Unser. He got up a little bit high, but carried quite a bit more speed coming off the turn. He goes all the way down the back straight. Right now, he can't brake, he can't steer. He's not really doing anything. He's a passenger. Comes to the inside of the track here, and you see he's going to hit this curve that it belongs to the road course right there. But he's quite he slowed down quite a bit, so it wasn't a big deal. But just imagine hitting that curve at high speed.
Yep.
And then he just tapped the wall on the inside there.
And the other story during this caution involves Jacques Lazier. He slowed dramatically on the racetrack. They're pushing him to his pit, Vince.
Yeah, Jacques Lazier's car stalled, and they're not exactly sure why. It stalled as if it was out of fuel, but telemetry says they've got 3 gallons left. So they need to get it here to the pit box and investigate it further. But certainly it's going to put an end to a very strong day for the Truselli Racing Team's performance and Jacques Lazier.
One that the team and Jacques can be very, very proud of. But he does lose a lap, and now that leaves us 7 cars on the lead lap at 166 laps. Back in a moment. We have tennis, we have football, we have baseball, we have racing. We have a number of things to cover for you tonight on SportsCenter on ESPN at 7 o'clock tonight. Brian Kenny and Trey Wingo will have the report for you. Or log on to ESPN.com. Part of the Go Network, Go.com. Kenny Brecht, Sam Schmidt running first and second, followed by Robbie Buell. And Davey Hamilton is running in 4th position. And let's not forget that this is a backup car, not the one he qualified. He started last, is up to 4th, Jack.
Jack's not there. I'll just talk about it, Bob. Anyway, Skip Ball was saying that Sam Smith is a one-horse race. Right now, he's a couple of horses and then joined the fray. Kenny Brack is leading. Robbie Buell had a great day. And this man, Davey Hamilton, started last. Didn't run this car even today, but he's running a really good race. Davey Hamilton, you can always count on him to be there at the end of the day. It's a attrition-filled race. That's certainly it.
Alan Mertens is the engineer on this car. Of course, he was a long time with Alan. In fact, Fred Allen Jr. helped him win the 1990 car championship in 19 races, including the 1992 Indianapolis 500. Green flag is out once again. We are back to the Salazar. He's not on the green flag.
up high behind the bar. David Hamilton looking to take a good place from Robbie Buell. And it looks like he's going to get it done here, Bob. Buzz Calkins right there inside of Davey Hamilton.
Buzz makes a nice run to the inside of Davey Hamilton, and Buzz takes the position away. He moves to fourth. Again, good side-by-side racing here, and there's Scott Sharp, who's also in that battle.
Scott Sharp is running for that position as well, and Rick Roy is kind of messing things up over there. Rick Roy is not running off the pace, so he's just doing his thing.
Has his mic fixed. Let's talk to Rick Gallas.
Actually, I paid the battery. The Energizer team began this new battery. Rick Gallas, before this race, when you knew you had to go to the backup car, you said, "I want my mommy." What about right now?
Well, David's doing a great job out there, and it's kind of come back to us. So we're fighting hard right now.
Let's talk about a few rumors. One that seems to circulate about a guy from Albuquerque named Unser. Al Unser Jr. was seen at White Beach Racing negotiation. Is he coming IRL racing for you guys?
We'd love to have Al, and we are talking. Right now, I want to worry about David.
There's also the possibility, boys and girls, that there may be a new sponsor coming to Dallas.
Well, all kinds of things to look forward to in the 2000 season. The Pep Boys in Arizona. Al Unser Jr.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to talk about it right now.
And that's usually a good sign that it's going to happen. We don't know yet. We'll see.
Robbie Buell did get around
Here's Kenny Breck. Yep. Down a 2-second lead over Schmidt, though, and Schmidt doesn't seem to be knocking it off very quickly.
No, you see that pit stop, and they made that tire adjustment. That might have been the trick. And we don't have that many laps remaining here. So these two guys duking it out to the finish.
Down to Jack Root once again with Robbie Unser.
Well, Robbie, you let it ride. You started looking like you were going to hit the jackpot, and then it was, oh, craps.
It was. I think we had the best chance we had this year today. The car was really working good. The car was handling, you know. We just lost the fuel pump. Yeah, that's the way it goes some days. But the guys really have done a good job this weekend. They've come here on basically nothing, and they put their heart out, and we were fast.
Sarah Fisher is your teammate at the grand finale.
That's yet to be determined, but that's what it looks like it's going to be, and we're going to have a fun time because it's a hard day out there.
You know what? The older he gets, the more he looks like his daddy.
Yeah. Well, Sam Schmidt sure closed the gap quite a bit
Definitely.
while Jack Root was interviewing Robbie Unser, and look at that. They're in the same frame right now.
He has really closed in quickly. It was over a 2-second lead 2 laps ago, went down to 9/10 of a second, and now you can see about a half second or 4 car lengths as Sam Schmidt moves in on Kenny Breck with less than 30 laps to go in the Las Vegas 500.
And right there we saw Sam Schmidt make an adjustment, so he's still not entirely happy with the handling of his car, but he's just working and working that weight jacker to make it better, and it seems to be working for him. He's closing in right now.
More from Vince Welch.
Sam Schmidt more than 4 miles an hour quicker than Kenny Breck on those last 2 laps. And Ari, you know the look of a confident team, especially when it's one that you've driven for. And I'll tell you, the Sprint PCS and Fred Treadway group looking very confident right now, even though they're still chasing Kenny Breck.
Yeah, Kenny Breck is not going to really give him such a hard time, I think, because when the guy chasing you is superior, there's not much you can do. You can't block a guy like on a road course or something like that, so you have to give up the position. But Kenny's thinking about points as well.
Right now, Schmidt is the fastest of the two, with third place car of Robbie Buell, the third fastest on the racetrack.
He's still faster by not much, though. He was a little bit faster early, but Kenny is not going to give it up quite yet. We're going to see Kenny move a little bit over as soon as Sam tries to make a pass. Kind of mess up his momentum, and then it takes Sam a few more laps to get back to where he was before. So look for that to happen from Kenny's side.
And that last lap, Breck was a little bit quicker, and Kenny Breck, if he should win here today, will become the all-time winningest driver in Pep Boys Indy Racing League activity. Right now, Kenny Breck, Scott Sharp, and Arie Luyendyk all have 4 victories in the league. Nobody has ever won 5, so Kenny could do that this afternoon. And Sam Schmidt, of course, is looking to win his very first series event. Jack, Kenny is under fire from Schmidt.
Well, he does feel the pressure, but Bob, what's interesting in the contrast is the Treadway team for Schmidt is a single car entry, but the Brack team is a double car entry along with Billy Boat in the Harris car. Thank God that Billy was out there, because that was the man that helped A.J. Foyt determine where the vibration was coming from on Brack's car. We said the tires wore because they were using low air pressure. They came out like ovals, like eggs. They made the change in the tire pressure, and so far, Kenny Brack says no vibrations. The car feels good. He just keeps looking in the mirror and seeing the nose of that Black Sprint PCS car.
Yeah, he's looking in the mirror a lot, but earlier in the race, Sam Schmidt complained about not being able to run up close behind traffic. Right now, he's getting closer to Brack, and then he kind of seems to hang there and not get even closer. So I think he might have a little bit of problem behind Kenny Brack's car.
You see there, 7 cars are on the lead lap. As we near the closing laps of this race, now less than 25 to go. We go on board once again with Sam Schmidt. Up ahead is the leader, Kenny Brack. And we also have a battle on the racetrack for 5th position. That is Hamilton and Sharp trying to decide who runs in 5th position.
Hamilton is Sharp, and right behind Sharp is Robbie McGee.
He also is in the battle for...
And right ahead is Buzz Calkins, a 4-way battle.
Yeah, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th right there, all running close on the track. Buzz Calkins, Davey Hamilton, Scott Sharp, and Robbie McGee.
Jeff Ward running back there. Jeff Ward several laps behind. He's running on 7 cylinders most of the day, just having an awful day, but just soldiering around to get points at the end of the race.
Thought that Calkins might get a run on the top of the racetrack, but instead, here comes Scott Sharp to the inside, and he passes Buzz for position. Now again, that yellow and purple car of Jeff Ward is not on the same lap as these other 4. That is the Yahoo sponsored car driven by Jeff Ward. But everybody else in this mix is battling for position. Robbie McGee and Buzz Calkins.
Like Jeff Ward's team has fixed that problem with the car running on separate cylinders, because he's running pretty good actually now with these guys that are battling for 4th position. So they must have fixed that, but way too late in the race. Scott Sharp right there is really closing in on Davey Hamilton.
Good race back there for position. Meanwhile, up front, pretty good battle too, as Brack only has about a 3 or 4 car length advantage on Sam Schmidt. The closing laps, we'll have them for you when we return. ESPN's coverage of the Pep Boys Indy Racing League's Las Vegas 500 is being brought to you by Delphi Automotive Systems, driving tomorrow's technology. By MCI WorldCom, the official long-distance and local service provider of the Pep Boys Indy Racing League. And by Pennzoil with Pure Base, made for the way you drive. Stop, go, Pennzoil. It's just about...
Oh my goodness, we got
Davey Hamilton in the fence. A tough break for Davey Hamilton when it was running in 4th position. I was going to tell you that we're scheduled to be off the air about this time. However, obviously we're going to go a little bit long. We're only a few laps away from the end of the race, and we will have the interview with the winner on RPM tonight. And coming up next here on ESPN2, the final round of the Weston Texas Open from San Antonio, Texas. So stay tuned for that. We will have that as soon as our race is concluded here on ESPN2. Davey Hamilton has to call it a day, and he's not happy with somebody. Who did he point at?
Somebody was, somebody put him up in the gray. It was not a big hit. He got into the gray, slid off, just slid up the track, and I think he was pointing his finger maybe at Scott Sharp because they were battling earlier before we went to the break.
Well, they were really battling for position. 4 cars, as a matter of fact, and to add to that, the fact that the leaders, Brack and Schmidt, were also coming up to lap those guys, so that also added to the amount of traffic that was there in turns 3 and 4 when Davey got up against the fence.
It was quite congested. Kenny Brack was able to get by 2 cars, Robbie McGee and Buzz Calkins. And when he got by those 2, there was quite a big gap between Kenny Brack and Sam Schmidt. And then, of course, this accident happened, and now we're going to get a restart, shootout.
Yeah, let's see if we can...
Scott Sharp goes to the inside. and touches, slightly touches the side part of Davey Hamilton's car. You can see the tire mark right there, and it doesn't take much of a touch to send you off into the gray and into the wall. Here's another replay slow-mo, and he slides up the track. Scott Sharp does, and touches Davey Hamilton.
Coming into this race, Davey Hamilton was 5th in the point standing, so again, a contender for the championship. 13 were mathematically still eligible to win the championship as we enter this event. There's the contact between Scott Sharp and Davey Hamilton that sent Davey up into the wall. There is Scott Sharp's car. If he has a donut on the car, of course, would be on the opposite side that we are seeing right now. And when he comes around, we might be able to see where the two touched.
Where'd we hit?
There it is.
Right there.
Yep. So indeed, there was contact between Scott Sharp and Davey Hamilton.
When you look at what's going on here, the spotter has told Davey Hamilton your inside is somebody's there. But look at how much racetrack is left on the inside. Normally, with your left front tire, you would be on the white line, passing somebody on the inside, but Scott never even got close. Scott basically slid up the track into Davey Hamilton. That's why Davey Hamilton was mad. He gave him all the room he needed to pass him, and he still took him out.
Well, Davey Hamilton is okay. We understand that Donnie Beechler is being held in the Enfield Medical Care Center just for observation. Again, when he crashed, he did get out of the car under his own power, but sat on the car for quite a while and then was loaded into the ambulance. So I don't think it's a serious injury for Donnie Beechler, and everybody else is okay, despite the fact that we had some pretty hard hits here this afternoon, including those of Willie T. Ribbs and Scott Goodyear, both of whom were not injured. Again, we remind you to stick around for the final round of the Weston Texas Open coming up from San Antonio,
There's the way,
Texas.
coming up to the halfway there.
Scott
There he
Sharp
is,
is making a pit stop here in the late stages of the event. And a reminder that the final race of the Pep Boys Indy Racing League 1999 series is going to be in Texas. It's the Mall.com, the 500K at Texas Motor Speedway. And boy, the championship is really up for grabs now because, again, Greg Ray had problems earlier in the day, but so did Scott Goodyear. And so it is going to be a really good battle for the championship in the Mall.com 500 from Texas Motor Speedway. Boy, Kenny Breck has quite a bit of racetrack between himself and Sam as the green flag comes out.
Kenny's been great on the restarts. He's just, really got it.
And Salazar is spinning.
No contact, though, and let's see if it goes yellow or if they keep it going.
Salazar earlier this week celebrated 25 years in motorsports, and the caution is going to come out once again because the car cannot make it back to the pit area.
And this is really playing into the hands of A.J. Foyt and Kenny Brack with the power team because, with 8-10 laps remaining, this could be a few more laps on the yellow. And Sam was strong, but he wasn't really making a lot of headway trying to get around Kenny Brack, so this is really playing into their hands.
Well, now it's time to plot strategy for the final few laps. What are they saying down where you are, Jack?
Well, Bob, forget strategy right now. A.J. Foyt is playing psychiatrist for his driver, Kenny Brack. The vibration has returned, and Kenny has been complaining about it. At one time, A.J. just told him, look, just drive the car. I told you. It's just the tires. Then during the last caution, they had a long, extended conversation. And it kind of went like this. Kenny, I know it's difficult, but it is just the tire vibration, especially on the restarts. Consider maybe starting in 5th gear, a little bit higher, so maybe the vibration won't be so bad. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, it is just the tires. If you can live with it, you can win. And then A.J. Foyt said something I have never heard him tell another driver. I feel for you, buddy. Back to Vince.
Well, it's...
communication between Sam Schmidt and Skip Fall. Skip told Sam, you're getting too far underneath him. Try to come off the turn. You get a better run coming off the turn. Said just like you do in practice, and that was just before Salazar has spun and brought out the yellow flag. I talked to Skip before in the first yellow, and he said, not a problem. We've still got plenty of time. But Ari, maybe you can talk about this. This second yellow brought out by Salazar, maybe a little more costly for Schmidt than the first.
Definitely so, and now he's just got a handful of laps to get it done, and he better get it done as fast as he can. But what he really needs to do is get closer to Kenny Brack on the restarts. He's losing a little bit too much position, track time between Kenny and himself on the restarts. As we saw on this last one, there was quite a bit of spread between the two of them.
Salazar's car is being towed down to the end of pit road, and his car will be off the racetrack before too long. Salazar, certainly a national hero in Chile. He began his career 25 years ago, won the Saloon Car Championship in the country of Chile, and today a top contender, in fact, a winner here at Las Vegas 2 years ago. Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the Las Vegas 500 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We're running just a little bit over, but we'll have about 7 laps to go when we get the green flag here, and 1 more lap coming up at the conclusion of our event, the final round of the Westin Texas Open from San Antonio. We will not have an interview with the winner live, but you will be able to hear it on RPN tonight.
Pace car lights are still on, which means they have to go around one more time, and I bet you Sam Schmidt and the entire Treadway team is just fuming right now. It's taken quite a long time for that car of Salazar to be towed around into the pits.
We had gotten an indication that we were going to go back green this time around, but apparently not, as Salazar's car is still not off the racetrack. So they're going to complete 202 laps.
Yeah.
As now the emotions begin to...
next time by. 5 to go, next time by.
Next time by. And the green flag is out. Green is out, so here we go. Lap 203, the green comes out.
Battle for position right here, Buzz Calkins and Robbie McGee. They're going at it, and of course our leaders are going at it, so it's still quite an exciting race here towards the end.
McGee looking to the inside of Calkins, cannot take the position. That is the battle for 4th spot. Robbie Buell is running in 3rd. Make that...
to me, those guys are running in 3rd and 4th.
Well, that's what it looks like on the racetrack or on the scoring monitor, however. Anyway, look at how the points have changed. Now Breck within 3 of Greg Ray, with Schmidt 40 behind.
See the vibration on the back of that car? It wasn't there earlier in the race, but he's dealing with that now, and although AJ Foyt feels for him, I'm sure Kenny Brack is very nervous right now about that vibration and about Sam Schmidt and his mirrors.
Got 4 laps to go now, and indeed Scott Sharp and Buzz Calkins are running 3rd and 4th as Buell has dropped back here a little bit. Our concentration is up in front because Schmidt once again begins to close in rapidly on Kenny Brack. Here they come out of the 4th corner to complete lap number 205. 3 laps to go, and the interval is 0.2 of a second and closing. Look at Schmidt. Look to the outside in turn number 2. Now he may take a dive down to the inside. Good on-board camera here. There's Schmidt going to the inside at the end of the backstretch. He and Kenny go wheel to wheel into the corner, and Schmidt emerges with the lead with coming down for 2 laps to go.
The hometown driver is going to pull it off here right towards the end. He just got by him. And I saw a little wiggle on Kenny's car, and Kenny's just holding on, it seems like.
Sam Schmidt puts some racetrack between himself now and Kenny Brack as they're on the backstretch with a lap and a half to go. Will Sam Schmidt win his first Pep Boys Indy Racing League event here this afternoon in Las Vegas? The white flag is coming out. 1 to go for Sam Schmidt, trying to duplicate the feat turned in by Arie Luyendyk last year when Arie drove that car to victory and then announced his retirement. Sam has a huge career ahead of him as he is within a half a lap of his first victory. He's staying ahead of Kenny Brack by 2 or 3 car lengths. And as we see him come off the corner, indeed, Sam Schmidt is going to win his first Pep Boys Indy Racing League event. Schmidt beats Kenny Brack to the checkered flag, winning the Las Vegas 500.
That was Fred Treadway shaking his head. Boy, that was exciting at the end.
Just an incredible win by Sam Schmidt, who won his first PPG pole here yesterday and now drives to victory in the race itself. What a happy guy. Looks like he's unstrapped the belts already and is anxious to get out of the car and into victory lane. We'll have the interview.
Superman today.
That's right. We'll have the interview with him on RPM tonight, but quite a day for Sam Schmidt, who wins here in Las Vegas. For Jack Arute, Vince Welch, and Ari Lyondike, I'm Bob Jenkins. Thanks for joining us from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Sam Schmidt wins.
Well, Sam Schmidt, congratulations. You waited a long time for this one.
Like almost 2 laps too late. I tell you what, thank God first most. Whew, a long day. I screwed up on the first pit stop and stalled the car, and I didn't think we'd ever come back from that, but kept telling me to be patient on the radio, except for Skip. But anyway, it was an awesome day. I mean, the car just handled beautifully all day, and all we had to do was be patient in traffic, and it just came to us eventually. Wasn't as good that last run, and I really had to take a big risk getting around Kenny, but we didn't come to finish second.
Talk about that for a moment. You've been in second. You've been the guy that is, that everybody says, hey, Sam Schmidt's going to win one someday, when you were this close so many times before. Give me the mindset on those last couple of laps.
Well, he was doing such a good job. I mean, he was high going in and low in the middle and high coming off, and we picked up a pretty good push that last set, and there was nowhere for me to go. And just that one time, he pinched it in 1 and 2, and I got to get running. I'm going down the backstretch, and I wasn't lifting. I mean, I don't know what he was doing, but I was not lifting going into 3, and fortunately, it just stuck. And I got to stop breathing the last 2 laps, I swear. But Jeff, Skip, I mean, all the guys did a heck of a job. It's been a long time coming, and it's just all that much more beneficial for us. Sprint PCS, thanks for their support all year. BG Lubricants, we're number 1.
Everybody calls you Elvis, and it seems appropriate that Elvis is back in the building at Vegas. In your best Elvis impersonation, what do you have to say to the folks?
Well, first of all, now all these guys got to dye their hair black. That's the deal. But thank you very much.